So now that you've created your research questions, it's time to start the research process. The research process is a little more than just finding evidence. We need to be able to find reliable sources, create source citations for those sources, and then make in-text citations for the source citations. It sounds like a mouthful, but once you see how it's done, it will be a piece of cake. Every source where you find evidence for your essay will be documented on what is called the works cited. So you know that the works cited is simply a list of all the sources you used in your essay. The part that takes a little work is that the works cited has to be in a certain format, and each source citation also has to be written a certain way, but we'll talk about source citations next. Check out the image of the works cited page here, and you can see the different formatting rules in red. Now, you've heard the word citations over and over already, but what are citations? Citations tell the reader where you found your evidence, so if the reader ever wants to find the source for that evidence, he or she knows exactly where to look. There are two different citations we'll learn about here: source citations and in-text citations. The source citation is the full publication information that you use to identify a source. That means you are recording things like the title, author, publication location, publication date, and more. Here, we have several examples of source citations. As you can see, every kind of source has a specific formula. Tweets, works of art, emails, websites, YouTube videos, books, movies, and any other source you can think to use. Notice that the formula for the source citation changes depending on the type of source, but each source still has all of the required publication information. Once you have the source citation for your source, the in-text citation is easy. The in-text citation is just the shortened version of the source citation that appears in your actual essay. Since it would be distracting and a little weird to have the entire source citation in the body of the essay as you're reading, they've created rules to shorten the source citation. And that is what will refer readers to your works cited page with the source citations at the end of the essay. The in-text citation is just whatever comes first in the source citation. That could be the author's last name, a title, or something else. It just depends on what the formula was for the source citation. You'll see that the first thing in each source citation is underlined in red. Then you can follow the yellow arrow to see how the in-text citation appears at the end of each piece of evidence. The in-text citation, or the shortened version of the source citation, is underlined in pink. Notice that the in-text citation is copied directly. If the first thing in the source citation has quotation marks around it, make sure your in-text citation does too. Let's look at how in the body of the essay, the in-text citation refers the reader to the works cited page that appears at the end of the essay. You can see how the shortened version of the source citation appears in the body of the essay. They are in red boxes on the left side of the image. With the in-text citation, you don't have to write the entire publication information in your actual essay. The green arrow points to the source citation on the works cited page and shows you how the in-text citation refers to the source citation. Now, the reader can find the source of the evidence if they need to by referring to your works cited. So we know about using source citations and in-text citations, but you might be asking yourself, how do I cite my sources? That's a great question. There are a few different ways that you can use to cite your sources, and we'll go through those in our next videos.